my goodness. Friday Night SmackDown. Tonight at the Barclays Center. And every time Triple H comes to the Barclays Center, we got some major happenings going on in the WWE. Motor City Machine Guns. Not only did they wrestle DIY tonight, they wrestled the tag team champions, the Bloodline. And ladies and gentlemen, we got new WWE Tag Team Champions. And a lot of people are asking, why so soon? I will tell you why. I will tell you why, and it's because it's story. Roman's back. Jimmy and Jay reunite. Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, Part 7. Should be great. We got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to the venue tonight. And when I walk through those doors, I want to know on this Friday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post show for October 25th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Friday evenings, wherever you may be. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 2-2 tied in the 8th. New York Yankees and Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 1 of the World Series. It's going to be a Game 7 Telling you right now, man, it's going to be a Game 7. 7-game series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. We got a Game 7 tonight with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But it was a very eventful Friday Night SmackDown. And as I've been conditioning all of you, I've been prepping all of you, I have been teaching all of you what is the most important thing in all of professional wrestling. Story. You guys understand it. The AEW fan base are a bunch of fucking simpletons. They don't know right from wrong, up from down, left from right. Story. That's what we got tonight. Story. A lot of people asked, well, why? Why did they do what they did tonight? Why is this happening so soon? I don't really see what is so difficult to understand when watching the show. Everything made sense. Everything lined up the way that it needed to. And you got the tag team championships off of a team that didn't need them. You got the tag team championships onto a team that certainly needed them. And you forwarded the story that you saw tonight, a story of revenge, by using those tag team championships. I don't see where the discrepancies are. You see, a lot of people don't really understand what they're watching. A lot of people don't understand what happens on these shows. That's why you got people like me here. Some people legitimately hate watch a show like this, and then they want to shit all over it because they don't really have any other aspects or hobbies in this life. They just go about making other people miserable. There's always fair criticism what we do here. And tonight, it is absolutely deserved for the Motor City Machine Guns to win a set of tag team championships within WWE. Jey Uso lost his Intercontinental Championship on Monday night to Bron Breakker and Solo Sikoa. And the Bloodline showed up, and they wanted to help him retain the championship. The other guys, I don't know if they wanted to help him per se, but Solo Sikoa certainly helped Jey Uso evade a spear from Bron Breakker, and he ate the spear himself from Bron Breakker. Ultimately, Jacob Fatu and the rest of the Bloodline, they caused a mayhem situation outside the ring on Monday, which led to Bron Breakker spearing Jey Uso and becoming a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Boom. Your revenge storyline was planted right there for it to grow on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, I didn't expect it to happen so soon. I expected the Motor City Machine Guns to win. I expected this tag team title match possibly next week, maybe after Crown Jewel, but we got WarGames to build. We got 2 WarGames teams that we certainly need on the poster and in the advertisements and on the graphics. They want to get everybody where they need to as quickly as they can, as long as it makes sense. And everything did make sense. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso both showed up on Friday Night SmackDown tonight after the Motor City Machine Guns defeated DIY in a decent match. It wasn't anything special. I was expecting a TakeOver blowaway classic that you would see at a TakeOver New York during the black and gold days. It wasn't anywhere close to something like that, but still, DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns do not put on bad tag team wrestling matches. DIY obviously lost. Motor City Machine Guns won. We got a little bit of a situation there with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, which I hope to God they break them up, because I'd love to see Ciampa as a heel, and I'd love to see Johnny Gargano as a babyface. DIY has done nothing, and they are losers together. So hopefully that's a seed planted there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Motor City Machine Guns win. Bloodline comes out. Nick Aldis is out there. He makes the match. We get the match. I knew exactly where they were going. Anybody with 2 eyes who follows the show knows where they were going with this. We talked about this last week. We talked about it on Tuesday with Solomonster on Tuesday Night Titans. Everybody saw where this was going. Bloodline loses the tag team championships thanks to Jimmy Uso and thanks to Jey Uso. We also got an appearance from Roman Reigns, who took two of the biggest aspects of the Bloodline out of the picture, leaving Jimmy and Jey to do what they had to do against Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. Motor City Machine Guns reaped the benefits of that, and poof, tag team championship reign is over for the Bloodline. Motor City Machine Guns are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Why? Why? Well, Jey Uso got his revenge for what the Bloodline did to him on Monday, costing him the Intercontinental Championship, his first singles title in 14 years in WWE. I think that's more than enough of a reason to answer the question of why. We're not Dynamite. We don't leave the answer of why unanswered and tack on more questions and then don't answer those either. You got your why. Jey Uso needed revenge, and he got his revenge. Boom. Well, why put the titles on the Motor City Machine Guns? Why not? Were they doing anything on the Bloodline? They were basically props to make Solo's Bloodline look better than they were before. And that's not really saying much. Motor City Machine Guns win the tag team championships, and I don't know why anybody is asking why when it comes to Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. There's two guys in this business that deserve the spot that they are in right now. It is Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. I don't know why anybody is complaining. What you also do by putting the tag team championships on the Motor City Machine Guns is you establish that tag team division as something that is now going through a reset. Number one, can't do that with the Bloodline because they got to look strong. And you can't really have them look weak going into WarGames. So now you tell the story of revenge with the titles. And Tama Tonga and Tangaloa are going to be better off without those tag team championships. Motor City Machine Guns also needed to be an established act on the main roster. No better way to do that than beating the Bloodline in your third match and then being gifted the tag team championships on top of that. What do you think the optics of that are when you're in that audience looking at the Motor City Machine Guns beat the Bloodline? Everybody in the Barclays Center now thinks of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. If you didn't know of their previous history, now you know them as, these guys are pretty important. These guys are going to be a pretty big deal. They beat the Bloodline. There you go. No better way to establish a team that not only is the best team probably in the entire world, but it's also a great way to establish them in the eyes of the fans that don't know who they are and don't know that they've been around for 20 plus years. Everything that they did tonight was great. I have no problem with what they did tonight. Jimmy and Jey Uso at the end of the match, they embrace, they hug, they are back together. They are now back on speaking terms. The Usos are reunited. Roman Reigns looking on as if he's the odd man out. How do I get involved again with my family so that they can trust me? WWE's got 4 weeks till Survivor Series. None of these individuals will be at Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel is what it is. It's Crown Jewel. WWE is building the most important match that they have in Vancouver at Survivor Series, and they're building it now. They have 4 weeks left to go. That's 8 shows. Raw and SmackDown. Jay's a Raw superstar. He will be on SmackDown. He will be on SmackDown however which way they could get him. He'll show up randomly. Jimmy will be on Raw. He'll show up randomly. We may get a Roman Reigns appearance on a Monday night. I don't have a problem with that, as long as it continues to tell the story that we need. That's 8 shows in 4 weeks. There is plenty of time to flesh out everything that you need to do with the Survivor Series and the WarGames match between Bloodline and Bloodline. Everything that they did was fantastic. I have zero problems with what they did. And then you get the tag team championships on the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't know how anybody would be complaining about that. A tag team division led by the Motor City Machine Guns is a better tag team division in WWE. Love it. Game 7 of Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. I don't believe I'm going to say this, but Game 7 between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes was probably the worst match that they've had in the 7-match series, which, believe it or not, I didn't really come into this planning to say that. I thought they were going to have the best match of the entire series. But with LA Knight as the special guest referee, and if you watched the show tonight, LA Knight had his vest on, he had his jeans on, he had a referee shirt on, but over the referee shirt, he had his brown vest, he had his sunglasses on, and he wore the United States Championship while refereeing the entire match. As soon as the bell rung, I had a feeling that they were not going to take this as serious as people wanted it to be for a Game 7 between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And I'll give you guys one guess how the match ended. The match ended the way that you all expected it to end. We're getting a triple threat match because the match went to a no contest. Neither Andrade or Carmelo won, and now there's a triple threat match booked for the United States Championship at Crown Jewel. Can't complain about that. We'll see what happens there. That's going to be more unpredictable than anything because any one of those guys could walk away the United States champion. This was a very good SmackDown tonight. And we're going to start off at the top with Triple H and Randy Orton in what I thought was probably the best segment that Randy Orton has been a part of since coming back after 18 months on the injured list. The best segment that Randy Orton's been a part of in WWE since his return. Triple H was on the show tonight. Triple H showed up and he explained to Randy Orton why he would not book Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens one-on-one. Love it. We're going to talk about it. Thank you guys for joining me on this Friday night. It's been a hectic week, man. You know, a week like this kind of beats you down at the end of the week, but I'm still rocking and rolling. I'm still giving you guys the best fucking content and the best show in the entire community. Thank you guys very much, man. I appreciate all that you guys do for me and all your support. If you want to show your support, there is a couple of ways to do that. Number 1, buy a t-shirt. Everything you need is linked down below. Everybody seems to think that nobody buys JD merch. Jesus Christ, I wish I could screenshot the amount of JD Elite t-shirts that we sold. Or better yet, remember those old JD's Negan designs? Yeah, what about those? We sold a ton of those motherfuckers. Give me a break. Go buy a t-shirt, man. Bonfire.com is the exclusive home of JD merch and the exclusive shop of Off the Script. Everything is linked down below. We got some great designs down there. Secondly, you guys can hit that thumbs up. We got 1,900 viewers. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes on the live stream tonight. Super chats are open. Get them on and we'll hang out at the end of the show. Last night, Andrew Baydala and myself were live for a very heavy debate on the core problems of AEW. A lot of people loved what I brought to the table. A lot of people did not like what Mr. Baydala brought to the table. That's the point. That's the point. Everybody seemed to think that either Andrew was a shill or he is just blind to everything that's going on and he's a paid shill by AEW and all this nonsense. That was the point of the debate. That's why I brought him on. If I have yet another individual here that agrees with everything that I say, it's not a debate show. And no, for all the people clipping the show out of context already, nobody buried anybody and nobody threw anybody else under the bus. Nice try, though. Go check it out. It's well worth your time. Excellent discussion. And we brought up a lot of great points about what is plaguing AEW. Tony. Tony. So go check out that and everything else that you might have missed, man. We've been uploading daily here on the channel this week, so anything you missed, it's all on the homepage. Go check it out. Tonight, we're sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings is the exclusive sponsor tonight of Off the Script. Don't miss out on all the action this week. DraftKings is sponsoring tonight's show. Download the DraftKings app today. Sign up using my promo code JD from NY. Or go to the link that I provided atop the live stream chat. And make sure you guys get in on all that action. Use that promo code JD from NY. We'll talk about my great friends over at DraftKings a little bit later on in the show tonight. Once again, sponsored by DraftKings. We start Friday Night SmackDown with Randy Orton. Randy Orton is out. And I'm loving what they're doing so far with Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, and this entire storyline that we have cooking on Friday Night SmackDown. The camera followed Randy Orton to the gorilla position. He stopped at the curtains and turned around and had a chat with Triple H. Triple H seemed a little bit taken aback, a little hesitant to listen to Randy Orton. He didn't expect Randy Orton to kind of confront him like that in the gorilla position. Orton then made his way out to the ring. Corey Graves said that the conversation had to be about Nick Aldis telling Randy Orton last week that asking for a match against Kevin Owens goes over his head. It's above his pay grade, considering Owens is essentially suspended for his attack on Cody Rhodes outside the arena 2 weeks ago after Hell in a Cell. Randy Orton, he's out in the ring and he calls Paul Levesque out to the ring. He says he suspects he's protecting Kevin Owens from Randy Orton. They cut backstage. Paul Levesque is shown on camera. He exhales. He didn't want to go out there, but he feels like he has to. He takes his headset off. His music begins to play, and he comes out to confront Randy Orton to open Friday Night SmackDown in New York City at the Barclays Center. So, Orton is in the ring, and he said he preferred not to do this out at the ring, but since he never seems to show up on work on time, says Triple H, which we can talk about later, I guess we'll do this now, Randy. Orton then said, everyone knows that he's protecting Kevin Owens from him. Triple H denied this as he got into the ring with Randy Orton. Triple H says he's just doing his job. Orton said Triple H has a soft spot for Kevin Owens. He told him to admit he's protecting him over and over. Just admit to me that you're protecting Kevin Owens. Just admit to me that you're protecting Kevin Owens. Triple H would not answer him. Triple H said, I am not protecting Kevin Owens. I am trying to protect you. Crowd oohed and awed. Triple H says he's known both Orton and Owens since the day that they both stepped foot into the WWE on day one. He said Owens wanted to be known as a prize fighter because it's always about business. He told Orton he knows what that is like. He said Owens never had an actual friend, but for some reason, recently he let his guard down around him and Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens let his guard down because he felt like he could trust Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes because they had a common enemy. He felt like to make SmackDown right and rid the problems of the Bloodline, he could trust them. He said maybe he was attracted to the good person he wants to be in Cody Rhodes, and maybe he sees the miserable prick in Randy Orton he doesn't want to be. He said Owens trusted them, and then he felt betrayed. He said when he talked to Owens, he sensed there was something different in his eyes, and there's a disconnect in Kevin Owens right now. Quite frankly, I don't want to put him in the ring with you, says Triple H. He explained that Orton just came back after 18 months of being on the injured list. He said he came back with a back injury, not a blown knee or ripping a shoulder out of a socket. You had steel rods put in your back, and you were told that you would never wrestle again. But here you are, and I just got you back. He said he doesn't want to see him go back on the shelf, and if it does happen again, it could be permanently. Orton assured him that that will not happen. He said he didn't ask Paul Levesque to come out, the guy in the suit. He said he wanted Triple H to come out here, the guy in a leather jacket, the guy who used to carry around a sledgehammer. He said he wanted the guy who beat the miserable prick out of him in his front lawn after throwing him through his dining room window. He says he's not the old Orton who was impulsive. He says he knows what's at stake in his career now. He said Levesque knows as well as anyone what it's like to have everything taken away from him. He said people like them need to handle their business in the ring. Please, I beg of you, Hunter. He wants his match. Fans are chanting, let them fight, let them fight. Triple H, there was a little hesitation on Triple H. He looked at the crowd after they were chanting, let them fight, let them fight. He looked at the crowd. He looked at Orton. And he said, I hope to God you all know what you are asking for. He agreed to book him against Owens at Crown Jewel. Then told him, from this point on, you're going to need to protect yourself at all times. He left the ring. Orton was happy. And that was the end of the segment. Now, I don't know where we're going with this. The best thing about this is I have no fucking clue where we're going with this. And that's a great thing. As soon as this segment ended, I'm like, this is the tops for me on SmackDown. Bloodline is the Bloodline. Obviously, they're going to treat that as the biggest storyline on television for the viewer. But for me, Triple H now involved, who you don't really see get involved in anything. But when he gets involved, you know it's going to be something fucking important. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, the WWE Championship eventually going to be involved. The serious nature of this was amplified significantly tonight. And to me, in my honest opinion, this is the best storyline that WWE has right now in the entire company. It's funny. A lot of people wanted Cody Rhodes to be in something substantial, and here we are. Right now, he's just biding his time before he gets back into it because he's got Gunther in 2 weeks. I love what they're doing here. And again, I don't know where they are going. We could see this go in any which way, any direction. Me personally, what I would do is I would take Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at Crown Jewel, and I give Kevin Owens the victory at Crown Jewel. Kevin Owens gets the victory at Crown Jewel. Kevin Owens gets a championship match against Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series. And at Survivor Series, I don't know what happens there. I don't know what they're planning there. But Randy Orton is eventually going to turn on everyone. And Randy Orton is going to go into a very, very dark place. I honestly feel at the end of all this that Kevin Owens is going to see that Randy is the one that you can't trust. I think Randy is going to be the one that obviously turns heel and gets his match with Cody Rhodes, and we may very well get that match at Saturday night's main event on Long Island. But I don't know how you guys feel about it. Kevin Owens, I've already stated that Kevin Owens and his statement and his situation, you can't really blame Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has every right to feel the way that he does. Cody teamed with the one guy who basically ruined SmackDown for 4 years, and Kevin Owens couldn't do anything about it. He teamed with the guy that made his life a living hell to a point where he took his best friend, manipulated his best friend, beat the shit out of his best friend, and they had to come together and stop the Bloodline in their own way. Randy Orton was taken out by the Bloodline. He missed 18 months because of the Bloodline. Kevin Owens has every right to feel the way that he does. But man, oh man, the way that you look at it, honestly, Kevin Owens, to me, this is why I've said this. I've said this very often here on this channel, on TNT. Kevin Owens is not the bad guy. He may be the bad guy in the eyes of the fans, but deep down, Owens is not the bad guy. He's not. Randy Orton is not the bad guy here either. Randy Orton's only doing what he feels like he needs to do. Kevin Owens disrespected him. He wants to get some sort of revenge on Kevin Owens beating him up in the parking lot. If you really look at it, Cody Rhodes is the one that's causing all this trouble here. Cody Rhodes is the one who has started all of this. It's all because of Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is the blue-collar, everyday babyface. But he's the one guy in this entire situation, if you really boil all the facts down, Cody Rhodes is the villain. Cody Rhodes is the villain. He is the snake or the wolf in sheep's clothing. He started all this. Don't you think that Randy Orton is eventually going to see that maybe Kevin Owens isn't wrong? Don't you think that Randy Orton is eventually going to open his eyes and see that Cody Rhodes is the one that's wrong? Kevin Owens is going to remain Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is going to go on and do what Kevin Owens has to do, and fans will love him for it. Because at the end of it all, Kevin Owens is not wrong. Randy Orton is going to be the one driven into madness. He's going to turn on Cody because he's going to realize that Cody is the reason for all these problems. Kevin Owens is going to see that Randy Orton is the one who was always the bad guy in this situation, according to him, and he's going to want to get his revenge on Randy Orton and realize that maybe Cody was a real friend to him. It was Randy that turned their back on both of them. But if you really want to think about it, Cody, he's the one that starts all this shit. He's the villain. He's the bad guy. He's not playing one. But Cody's done more wrong here to get everything to where we see it now than both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. That's why, to me, it's the most interesting. Because you don't know which way it's going to go. You don't know who's going to turn on who. You don't know when that turn is going to happen. I also love the fact that Cody Rhodes, he is in a story with some fucking meaning and some emotion. And I love the fact that Triple H heavily put over Kevin Owens tonight as a legit fucking killer. He boasted so much about Kevin Owens, and he made Kevin Owens look like a savage. I really do. That was awesome. The best segment that Randy Orton has been a part of since he's been back on WWE television. Brian A. in the chat says, Randy Orton will break everyone's heart when he turns on Cody Rhodes with that RKO. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And it's going to be a thing of fucking beauty. It's going to be great. I don't know when the match happens, though. That's the thing. Does it happen at Saturday Night's Main Event? Does it happen at Royal Rumble? I don't know where that match with Cody's going to take place, because I think the whole rumor is that Cody is going to potentially wrestle The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania in a triple threat match. We all know that Cody's going to be involved with The Rock. And if we do Randy and Cody, do we take the title off Cody in the interim to give his WrestleMania season a little bit more spice? Throw it on Randy for a couple of months, have Cody get it back, and then he goes on to wrestle Rock and Roman, or maybe just one-on-one with The Rock. We don't know. Very interesting how they're going to work all of this out. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. This is match 7 in their unofficial best of 7 series. Andrade made his entrance. Carmelo made his entrance. And I was very much looking forward to this. But I was let down by the match, and I was let down by the anticlimactic ending that we got here in Game 7. This ended up being very, very, very lame. Did not like what they did at all. LA Knight is the special guest referee here. Like I said in the beginning of the show, he didn't take off his jacket. He didn't take off his title. He didn't take off his sunglasses. He treated this as an absolute jobber match. So on one hand, you could look at WWE and blame them for wasting 2 months, 3 months of your time with these guys for the way that they portrayed LA Knight and the way that he came off not really giving a shit about Game 7 here between Andrade and Carmelo. You could look at it that, or you could look at it as, well, it's not that really big of a deal. It was going to end up a triple threat match anyway, which I think most of us already knew. But man, oh man, you hype up how these guys have delivered every single time out there through 6 matches, and then they go out there for a 7th, and it's the lamest match of them all. Kind of disappointing. So, Knight, like I said, was wearing his full getup. Andrade went for a quick pin after a quick back elbow, and he got a 2 count out of it. Hayes rolled to the outside. Hayes throws Andrade into the barricade on the outside. We get back in the ring. Andrade's in control. Some stomps, some chops. Knight was yelling at Andrade, and Hayes took advantage of this until Andrade pushed Hayes over the top rope. Andrade ran for a splash. Knight stopped him so he could make the 10 count. He was leaning through the ropes. Andrade said, fuck this shit. I'm hitting my dive. He goes for a dive. He jumps over LA Knight. Nails the dive on top of Carmelo. Andrade, back in the ring. He ran for a splash. Knight stopped him to start a count. And like I said, Andrade flipped over Knight and landed on Melo. We go to a commercial break. Show came back. Inverted Spanish fly from the second rope. LA Knight at this point had his belt and sunglasses off. He was not wearing them anymore. Hayes and Andrade, they go blow for blow. Hayes planted Andrade with a tilt-a-whirl face buster. He gets a 2 count out of it. Andrade sets up for the message. That got reversed. Turned it into a destroyer. And Andrade then hits a double knees. And he got a 2 count out of the Meteora in the corner. When Hayes kicked out, he threw Andrade into LA Knight, which meant Knight wasn't free to count a pin. He threw Melo accidentally hit a super kick on Knight. Andrade went for 3 amigos. He turned it into Melo planting Andrade. Knight then goes and throws Hayes into the commentary table, and he hits a BFT on Andrade. He does the same thing to Carmelo. Knight then walked outside with both guys down and rang the bell himself. Ding, ding, ding. Grabbed the microphone. Knight said, to hell with Game 7. Knight said he was the United States champion and he was the winner of Game 7. LA Knight's music hit, and he walked off, and the match ended in a no contest. You know, after all that, after 6 matches, you're looking forward to a very competitive match because we've gotten a very competitive best of 7. And that's the way you end it. It's almost as if WWE said, you know what? We're done. You know what? We don't care. We're tired of seeing it. We're over it. Meanwhile, I wanted to see the most competitive match in the entire set, and LA Knight treated it like it was a fucking joke. Now, I get that's his character. I get that's who he is. But give me something a little bit more than that, man. Give me something a little bit more than that. I mean, they made it blatant that they were going for the triple threat. I mean, they didn't even hide a single iota that they were going for this the triple threat match. At least fucking tease me. Play with me a little bit, man. I mean, holy shit. As soon as the bell rang and LA Knight rang the bell and he said he won Game 7, I knew exactly where they were going. Now, the great thing is, it's not happening on SmackDown. That's the best thing about it all. He walked to the back. Nick Aldis said, what the fuck was that? Why did you do what you did? You want to play games? Now you got both of them in a triple threat match for the United States title at Crown Jewel. Love it. So LA Knight is finally defending the United States Championship on a PLE. Great. It'll be the first PLE that he's defended the United States Championship on since he's won it from Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Great. This was very, very lame. I expected a lot more from these two guys after what we were given through all 6 matches so far. Nia Jax. She was in the back with Tiffany Stratton. And you can tell that this partnership is coming to an end very, very soon. Tiffany told Nia Jax she is there and ready to serve her. Jax said she needs someone to take care of Naomi because she just can't get her off her back. Tiffany volunteered. Nia Jax said, listen, I already found someone in Candice LeRae. She said she pinned Bayley last week, something you have never done. Candice LeRae immediately walks in with Indy Hartwell. She said she's going to take care of Naomi so Tiffy can just relax. So it looks like Nia has a new buddy and seems to no longer need the services of Tiffany Stratton. So Tiffany's going to be like, you know what, bitch? You want to replace me? I was never your friend to begin with, bitch. I got this contract, yet you want me to cash in on Liv. I ain't going for that, bitch. I'm doing what I want with this contract, bitch. I'm assuming. Now, I've said this the last 2 PLEs. I mean, I could be fucking wrong. Everybody's been wrong. Listen, a cash-in should have happened at Bad Blood. Honestly. It did not. Now we're back in the same position going into Crown Jewel. But I would love to see Tiffany Stratton cash in at Crown Jewel, finally win the championship, and do what she needs to do and restart that entire division. Nia hasn't done anything with that championship. She's just holding it to prop herself up. It's nothing more than a toy on Nia Jax. Obviously, then, with the rumors of Charlotte Flair coming back and what she's going to be doing going into Mania season, you set up Charlotte versus Tiffany at WrestleMania. That is going to be your SmackDown ladies match going into WrestleMania. I'm assuming Charlotte is already penciled in to win the Royal Rumble. I would not be surprised if that is the case. God help our souls. Just get the belt off Nia. And I'm glad that they're pushing Candice LeRae. I wish very much that the crowd gets behind Candice LeRae in any way possible. I really hope that the crowd shows some emotion towards Candice LeRae. She's too good to be cast off and not used properly. It's nice to see her on television in a meaningful way. It might not be great, but it's definitely more than what they were doing with her. Naomi. She went one-on-one with Candice LeRae. She's out there with Indy Hartwell. This went 9 minutes. Candice has got more in-ring time the last 2 weeks than she's had all year on SmackDown. Now, she did win last week in the tag team match against Bayley and Naomi when she teamed with Nia. I was hoping for another Candice LeRae victory here, but that was not to be. LeRae had control early until Naomi hit a kick to the head. LeRae came back with a crossbody and a couple of pinning attempts. Naomi earned the control of the match, kicking Candice and then executing a bulldog into the turnbuckle. Naomi went to the top. Candice caught Naomi, planted her on the apron. We go to a commercial break. Show comes back. Naomi's in control. LeRae pulled Naomi down from the top rope by her hair. Stiff shots from LeRae. Naomi fights back, planted LeRae. Naomi then landed a series of drop kicks and a bulldog. Naomi went for another bulldog. LeRae countered, and Naomi went to the outside. Indy Hartwell was out there. She ran Naomi into the ring post and then rolled Naomi into the ring behind the referee's back. All of a sudden, Bayley's music hit, and Bayley takes out Indy. This distracted LeRae enough, and Naomi hit her finish on Candice for the 1, 2, 3. I was hoping Candice got the victory after she got a little bit of momentum last week, but I guess they're setting up Candice and Bayley one-on-one, which I have no problem with. I would actually have Candice beat Bayley. Honestly. You want to establish somebody? Well, actually, I don't think that's going to happen because she's already pinned Bayley, so I'm assuming Bayley's going to get her win back. But if you want to establish Candice as a serious threat, I would have her beat Bayley. I don't think Bayley really needs the W. She isn't really in anything right now, so why not? I'm not terribly excited by this, but it's nice to see Candice LeRae finally being used on television. And they could definitely use more women like this in the division and give more women like this some creative role on the show. They need to start building that division for sure. Cody Rhodes and Gunther face to face on why Gunther should win the Crown Jewel Championship in Riyadh at Crown Jewel. This was very good. I did not expect a lot out of this because Cody's promo last week was fucking terrible. And I didn't like anything about Cody's promo. It was very boring. It did not hit on any important points. And he said he wanted to invite Gunther to Friday night this week. Meanwhile, the week before last, he invited himself to Monday Night Raw, and they already met face-to-face. So he gave his reason as to why he needs to win the Crown Jewel Championship. He mentioned his daughter, Liberty. I have to do it for my daughter. That's great. But I smell bullshit, Cody. And the New Yorkers in the Barclays Center, they smell bullshit, Cody. Nobody believes your reason, Cody. Shouldn't your daughter already be pleased and proud of her father? Because her father finished the story. Her father is holding the greatest prize in the industry. That is the WWE title. Yes, let me do it for my daughter. I have to win the Crown Jewel Championship. For my daughter, pal. No, I don't believe that for a single solitary second. Cody, he's out there. And how many woes did Cody do tonight? What was it? 3? I lost count. He was inside the ring. Gunther's music hit, ruined Cody's theme music, and the fans in New York City having fun. Gunther asked Cody what he wanted to talk about. And then he smiled. I laughed. I knew he was going to say it. Shows up on Friday night. Cody, what do you want to talk about? It's great. Cody told Gunther he wanted to know why he wanted to be Crown Jewel champion. Gunther said it was totally unnecessary to mention his daughter last week. So he clearly reads, the riot act to Cody Rhodes here. Just like I said, why are you mentioning your daughter, bro? Why are you mentioning your daughter, man? You go for those brownie points, man. Why are you mentioning your daughter and you got to do it for your daughter? You got the WWE title, man. You finished the story. Cody's reason was fucking lame. Gunther even knew it, and he wanted to cook Cody immediately. So Gunther talked about how Cody finished his story, and it was for all the legacy of Dusty Rhodes. Gunther mocked Cody for asking for the John Cena schedule, just to live up to other standards. Gunther said Cody just loves the dramatics. I sense no lies there, Gunther. He loves the dramatics. Gunther said his only reason is himself, and he is the greatest pro wrestler in the entire company, and the crowd responded with cheers. See? New York knows about Gunther, bro. New York knows about the ring general, Gunther. Gunther asked Cody what the real reason was that he wanted the Crown Jewel Championship. Cody responded by saying that was the dumbest question he's ever been asked in a wrestling ring. Has it been? Has it been? Let's ask Roman that. Let's ask Dwayne that. Cody said none of it exists without the fans. Here we go. Cody then led the crowd in a whoa! He led them in a whoa chant without his theme music playing. Cody said, you bet your ass I'm dramatic. He says he was proud to be dramatic. He also celebrated the Cody crybabies. Cody talked about how he was making the media rounds, and he realized that what Gunther was missing was the responsibility that came with being a champion. Gunther interrupted Cody and said he knows everything about responsibility. Crowd once again cheered Gunther. Gunther told Cody he gets the same requests Cody does, but Gunther just tells them no because he has the guts to say no. Gunther says he has the guts to say no to all of them, referring to the fans. Gunther said the reason Cody doesn't say no is because his little story is over, and that makes Cody a gutless champion. Gunther said the gutless champion will be secondary to Gunther. Cody then goes and mocks Gunther for being a ring general and says he sees no general because he leads no one. He leads no one but himself. Cody said his whole career has been built on guts, and out of nowhere, he says he was going to take those guts and do something that needs to be done. And he dropped down and hit Gunther with a dusty drop-down punch. Or I would say a gold dust, a Dustin Rhodes drop-down punch. Ludwig Kaiser ran in to stop Cody. And as a result, Kaiser and Gunther attacked Cody. Gunther hit a lariat on Cody, but Randy Orton ran out and chased both Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser out of the ring. So they're playing off what they did in the beginning with Randy and the optics of Randy backing Cody, which is going to add more fuel to the fire of Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, last time we heard from him, he said he was very disappointed that Randy chose Cody. And here Randy now is saving Cody from another beatdown. And we got a tag team match next week on Friday Night SmackDown, which should be tremendous. Cody and Randy teaming up against Imperium. Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther. Should be a great one. Gunther is a great promo. I don't know what you guys feel. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Gunther is a great fucking promo. He is so good at what he does to really just get the crowd riled up. Tonight, the fans actually agreed with him and smelled bullshit from a mile away coming out of Cody Rhodes' mouth. But on a normal night where he is playing the villain, he's a great villain. The sarcasm, the pettiness, the cockiness just rolls off of Gunther so good, man. He was not as good as he is now last year. He is very good at what he does. And he's got, obviously, the in-ring acumen to back it up. It's going to be a great match. I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be probably the best match of Cody Rhodes' title run so far, which is not really for the WWE title, but just based off work ethic and work rate, it's going to be the best match that Cody's done so far as WWE champion. Is there a story? No, there is no story. It's for the Crown Jewel Championship, a championship that is basically propaganda for the Riyadh shows in November. Nobody cares about this title. How are we going to find a winner in Riyadh? That's my question. Did you guys hear the rumor? Did you guys hear the rumor about Bill Goldberg potentially costing Gunther the Crown Jewel Championship in Riyadh and giving the match to Cody Rhodes, which would then set up Gunther versus Goldberg at either Survivor Series or Saturday night's main event for the World's Heavyweight Championship? I know, I just got a terrible cold chill up and down my body. No, we don't want to see that, Bill. I think Bill needs to stay retired. Nobody wants to see Bill in a WWE ring. Nobody. Nobody but Bill wants to see Bill in a WWE ring. Now, I listen. I don't want to see it, but I pray to God his knees and whatever the fuck else was ailing him last time we saw him is now fixed. But if there is one guy that's going to have a great match with Goldberg, I could see it being Gunther. Is it going to go and be a 15-minute fucking barn burner classic? No. 20 minutes? No. They'll probably give you about a solid 7-8 minutes. High impact, high octane, brutal. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for coming. If they keep it to that, fine. Obviously, I'm over-exacerbating about my distaste and my dislike for Bill Goldberg, but, I mean, it's not the worst thing that you could do with him. It really is not. I don't give a shit about seeing Bill Goldberg, and I probably say the same thing about you guys, but if there is going to be a match for Bill Goldberg, I mean, look no further than Gunther. I think that would be probably the best course of action if you want to get him back in the ring for one final match. When and where, I don't know. We'll see. The other rumor is that they are setting up Damian Priest for Gunther as a rematch for the World's Heavyweight Championship. I could see them doing that at a Saturday night's main event because I don't think that is a PLE match. That is definitely a Saturday night's main event match. I think that they will probably end up saving that for a Saturday night's main event. And if that's the case, if they have Gunther's opponents lined up for the remainder of the year being Bill Goldberg and Damian Priest, Gunther's had a very successful title run so far. He has. You know, you talk about Goldberg holding the champ, or not Goldberg, Gunther. Goldberg will not hold the championship, God forbid. I hope that's not the case. Imagine Goldberg costing Gunther the actual World Heavyweight Championship. My God, man, that would be I can't see Triple H doing that. That would be fucking one of the worst decisions, if not the worst creative decision he's made all so far in his run as COO. I don't see that happening. But look at who Gunther has taken down if that's the case. Damian Priest, he's already taken down Priest at SummerSlam. Randy Orton, right? He's had a tremendous title reign so far. And I honestly think if they want to line up Goldberg and Damian Priest again for Gunther and his title reign, I think that would be a great way to solidify what he's done. Honestly. So I want to see who he actually has wrestled here. Let's see. Oh, they got dark matches here. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor. He beat Randy Orton. He beat Jey Uso. He's having a tremendous year. Damian Priest. And then he gets Goldberg and Damian Priest again. See, this is why I would actually have him beat Cody. I would have him beat Cody. I would have the match end one-on-one. Clean. But I do think that something's going to happen. I do think that there will be a fuck finish. Genuinely. Because I'm not really into this title versus title, Raw versus SmackDown, champion versus champion garbage, man. And that is an easy way to fucking book yourself into a nightmare. Who wins? Cody can't lose. Gunther can't lose. Who wins? It's got to be a fuck finish somehow. It's got to be a believable fuck finish, too. One that makes sense. All for a championship that at the end of this show is not going to mean a fucking thing. Next Saturday, that championship will not mean a fucking thing after it's over. That's the shitty part of it, you know? I thought this was a great promo back and forth. This was probably the best thing that they've done so far in the build of this random champion versus champion match that we're getting for the Crown Jewel Championship at Crown Jewel in Riyadh 1 week from Saturday. Motor City Machine Guns. We'll get into that. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, DIY. This is a #1 contenders match for the Tag Team Championship. But before we do that, guys, I want to shoot it over to my sponsors over at DraftKings tonight. We are sponsored by DraftKings. All you guys got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code JD from NY. And you guys will be able to get in on all the action with a very special offer right now for all my listeners right here on the SmackDown Post Show, right here on Off the Script. UFC 308 is going down this weekend, and you guys are not going to want to miss any of this action. You can make Fight Night even more exciting by getting in on that action with my partners over at DraftKings. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will instantly get $200 in bonus bets. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. Stay in on that action and use your 200 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. That's right, guys. All new customers who use my promo code JD from NY and bet just $5 on anything, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. DraftKings is the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy, where you can join in on all that fun and have a shot to win cash prizes. UFC 308 is going to be a great one, guys. And all new customers who download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use my promo code JD from NY, bet just $5 and you're going to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Once again, download the app, use my promo code JD from NY, bet $5 on anything and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Thank you to my partners over at DraftKings. Make sure you guys download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and once again use that promo code JD from NY. Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin defeated DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa to become the #1 contenders for the Tag Team Championships. What's happening with Freddie Freeman? What did he do? Did he beat the Yankees? First ever walk-off Grand Slam in history to win a World Series. Crazy stat. Did he hit a walk-off Grand Slam? Did my guy Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off Grand Slam? Oh, my goodness, man. That's unbelievable. Holy shit. Man, I miss Freddie Freeman, man. I really do. I hated the way he left the Braves. Like, Matt Olson had a great year last year. Don't get me wrong. He didn't do too well this year. It's like he lost his spark. He lost his swing. Man, I miss Freddie Freeman. I do. He is so fucking good, man. So are the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY, for that matter. Two great tag teams. Very good match. Not as epic as I expected it to be, obviously, given both teams' body of work here. But good match, but a very predictable scenario. As we all knew, the Motor City Machine Guns were probably going to win this match. But how? Was it going to be straight up clean? Was there going to be something that happened with DIY? Yeah, something happened with DIY. Looks like they may be teasing a breakup, and it looks like they may be going heel Tommaso Ciampa. Gargano and Shelley started the match. 2 traded pin attempts. Things got restarted. Fast forward a little bit. Things broke down. Ciampa was the recipient of a meet in the middle from Motor City Machine Guns. Gargano hit a spear on Sabin. Ciampa worked over Shelley on the outside. Gargano and Ciampa celebrated and did their patented pat on the back spot as we go to a commercial break. We come back from the break, and Sabin was battling both Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Ultimately, Shelley tagged in, and the two worked over DIY. Big double team move that involved all 4 guys into a massive spot. Sabin tagged in, lifted Gargano. Gargano rolled Sabin up before kicking Sabin in the face. Ciampa tagged in and hit an assisted fairy tale ending. Ciampa landed a running knee on Sabin for a great near fall. Gargano tagged in and they set up the meet in the middle, but that resulted in multiple failed pin attempts. Gargano then accidentally super kicked Ciampa. It's not the first time he super kicked Ciampa in this very building in New York City. I'll tell you that right now. Shelley tagged in and they hit Skull and Bones, which is the name of their finish. It is a neckbreaker big splash combo. Off the top rope, Motor City Machine Guns win the match. After the match was over, Gargano and Ciampa argued on the outside of the ring. The Bloodline's music hit. And Solo Sikoa walked out with his crew as the Motor City Machine Guns stood in the ring waiting to be confronted by the Bloodline. We go to a commercial break, and we come back from the break with Nick Aldis already in the ring. I'm going to pause there. DIY. Looks like they may be teasing a breakup of DIY, and that would probably be for the best. And it pains me to say that because it looks like WWE is starting to slowly reset how they look at tag team wrestling. I don't know what needs to be done to fix the tag team division. I've given my ideas over the last several years. The last thing that they should be doing is breaking up teams. But I'm going to assume the fact that WWE now has a reunited Usos, that it's okay to break up one other team. It's not really okay, but I guess you're losing one by simple addition of another. You're getting rid of a team that really has zero juice. Let's be honest. DIY has no momentum. Every single tag team title opportunity they've had, they've lost. And the only time they won the titles was to put them right back on the Bloodline. That was it. Let's be real. Dead. I love DIY. I think they're great. They are better individually, though. There was a time and a place for DIY together. That was back before we got to really know Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, who led Black and Gold. I never wanted to see them back together again. It was never going to be the same. What they need to do is create from this moment, they need to create Tommaso Ciampa's villain arc from this right here on the main roster. And I mean that by having him go completely Sicilian psychopath, have him go back and channel that inner Ciampa that we got there in Black and Gold. At the same time, give Johnny Gargano that black and gold rub and have him be the babyface that we know he can be. He's going to need something, someone to help him get there. And if they could do that with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano together again on the main roster, I'm all for it. Better yet, it may end up resulting in a WrestleMania match for both Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano together. Is that where Triple H is going? I wonder if that's the plan. WrestleMania is the stage this year. My God, man, what an upgrade that is from TakeOver New York, huh? Love it. Hopefully that is the case. Show comes back and Nick Aldis is already in the ring. Aldis said the tag team match would not happen tonight, and the crowd is chanting OTC, OTC. Solo told Brooklyn to shut their mouths. Solo said he just wanted to come out and introduce themselves as they are now the number one contenders for the tag team championships. Crowd booed. Solo then did his acknowledge me shit. Brooklyn did not want to acknowledge Solo Sikoa. Solo welcomed Motor City Machine Guns to SmackDown and told them to acknowledge Solo as their tribal chief. Sabin speaks. He introduced Motor City Machine Guns and said, "My name is Chris Sabin. This is Alex Shelley. We are Motor City Machine Guns, and they'd wrestle any place, anytime." Sikoa said that was funny. And if they wanted to make an impact, wink, wink, they could have the match right now. All this, he interrupted and said, if Motor City Machine Guns, you see them now, they've given everything in this business, and he'd be damned if he'd stand by and let the Bloodline run the show, basically. Shelley said, no, listen. He spoke to Nick Aldis and said, you know more than anyone what we've put into this industry. Shelley said, if they want a match right now, we want it. So Aldis asked Motor City Machine Guns, if that's what you want, I'm not going to tell one of the best tag teams on the planet that they can't have it. Match is made, and we got a tag team championship impromptu main event for the tag team championships. This was great. This was great. The Bloodline stuff, them coming out and introducing themselves, that had to happen. The tag team championships now being taken off of the Bloodline. Better now than later. All of this worked. It did not feel too soon. It did not feel rushed. It doesn't feel rushed by putting the tag team championships on one of the most accomplished teams in the history of the fucking sport. None of it, everybody's discourse on social media about why would you put the tag team titles on the Motor City Machine Guns so soon, man? If this happened in AEW, JD would be shitting all over it. No, actually, I would be shitting all over it for the simple fact that they don't know how to tell fucking stories in AEW. So yeah, probably I'd be shitting on it for the wrong reasons. You guys are shitting on this because you don't watch the fucking show. There's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. This is not like them going to AEW and being gifted the tag team championships because Tony Khan wants to put the tag team titles on two guys he's probably spending fucking way too much on, and he's got to find some way to recoup the fucking pay that he's given them. Same thing he's doing with Danny Garcia right now. Hey, let's throw you into a TNT championship match. I spent all this money on you. I gotta make it feel like I'm getting a return on my investment. Now, this made sense. We used the titles to propel revenge. We used the titles to benefit a team that is going to do right by those titles and establish them in front of the audience. Boom. There's a reason why I'm on this side of the camera and you guys are on the opposite end. And all the geeks online with the fucking fake profiles and the fucking bullshit that they spew every fucking day, there's a reason why you ain't doing what I'm doing, because you can't do what I do as good as I do it. So sit there, shut your fucking mouth, and listen to someone who is very good at what he does talk about what he loves, professional wrestling. They all brawled. Tonga and Loa dropkicked Motor City Machine Guns to take them down, and we go into a commercial break. Tama Tonga did his...
He did.
Oops.
Yes, he did it. He did the noises, man. He did it. Oh my God.
Yes, he did the noises. He did the noises. Show comes back. Tama Tonga working over Shelly. Loa and Tonga went for a double splash. Shelly moved. Jimmy Uso appeared to attack Solo and Fatu on the outside. Solo and Fatu quickly fought back. Roman Reigns. Music hits. Everybody was surprised. Is it? Is it really him? Oh my God, it's Roman Reigns. Everybody went crazy. Roman Reigns is out there. Reigns then walked out, gave Fatu a Superman punch. Reigns, Jimmy, and Solo, along with Fatu, fought to the back. Sabin tagged in. Sabin worked over Tonga, hits a drop kick. Bloodline fought back, moved the referee in the way of a splash. Referee's now out of commission. Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga grabbed chairs. Another masked man in a hoodie appeared, and it was Jey Uso. He took out Tonga Loa, threw him over the commentary table. Jey hit Tama Tonga with the chair in the midsection, and then across the back, landed a big spear on Tama Tonga before revealing himself to be Yeet Man. Motor City Machine Guns set up their finish. Skull and Bones. And they hit it, and they got the victory over the Bloodline. And that was it. 1, 2, 3. Motor City Machine Guns are the new tag team champions. After the Machine Guns made it to the back, Jey was alone in the ring with Jimmy. Jimmy walked up to him, and they hugged in the middle of the ring. Roman in the entrance ramp looked on, watched. He looked to be contemplating what was going on. He wanted family back together, didn't he? This is the way to do it. They have now a common theme, a common enemy, a common goal. That's what's going to reunite the family. Roman's going to have to suck it up. And he's going to have to put his ego away for a little bit and realize that without those two guys, he's not going to be able to get back everything that he wants. Because they are the reason that he got everything in the first place. But I'll tell you what, man, the story that should be coming out of this for the next 4 weeks, how does Jimmy and Jey, how do they trust Roman now? How does Roman get back into their good graces? What's the level of conversation going to be like there? Because if you really want to go all the way back to the very beginning, Roman is to blame for a lot of the reason of what happened here, why the family split. Look at what he did to Jimmy. Look at what he did to Jey. He exiled Jey out of the family. It's going to be very interesting dialogue for the next 4 weeks. And we have Raw and SmackDown to do it. WarGames is being set right before our very eyes, folks. Who's going to be the fourth man? Is that Honorary Uso going to join them? Sami Zayn going to join them? Certainly looks to be shaping up that way. With the Wise Men, certainly shaping up to be that way. What about Solo? Solo shoved Jey out of the way on Monday. I know you guys saw Jacob Fatu's look towards Solo Sikoa. There was a little sign, a little moment of weakness there on Solo Sikoa. Is that going to come back and bite him in the ass? I don't think we do that until the end of WarGames. I think maybe we get Solo losing, the Renegade Bloodline losing, and then he's booted from the group. We could potentially see that happen before WarGames. I don't think that will happen, but I think there's a chance that we could see that. I think that happens potentially. He goes groveling back to Roman. We get the family back together. And we get Jacob Fatu leading the Renegade Bloodline. And maybe we get the addition of Hikuleo. Another Tongan. The brother of, I believe, the brother of Tangaloa and Tamatonga. Again, we don't know where this is going to go. Those are the only two directions that it could go. It's either Sammy joining the OG Bloodline against the Renegade Bloodline led by Solo, or we get Solo being booted from his Bloodline because of, let's be honest, being a loser. He hasn't really done anything. He's got to go groveling back to Roman and his brothers. They add Hikuleo, and Jacob Fatu leads the Renegade Bloodline into WarGames against the OG Bloodline. Solo, Jay, Jimmy, and Roman. But I think a breakup or an exile of Solo sounds a lot better at Survivor Series. Do we see The Rock? Is The Rock one who's pulling the strings here? Again, there's a lot of questions. And that's a good thing. We don't know where it's going to go. We don't know what's going to happen. We kind of know where it's leading. We know what the end stage is. We know what the match is going to be. We don't know how it's going to look and how it's going to shape up. It's great. I love it. It's going to be awesome. Survivor Series is going to be a fucking banger show. Love it. I thought the SmackDown was good. It wasn't the greatest show ever. Next week is a tape show. They taped the SmackDown show next week immediately following this show. So next week we got to get through another tape show. And then Monday Night Raw is going to be taped in not this coming Monday, but the following Monday. The weekend that they're in Saudi Arabia, they're taping Monday Night Raw, I believe, on that Sunday. So we got to get through these next 10 days or so. And then we'll be back in the United States and be building towards Survivor Series back live. It's a shitty feeling when we got to say, yeah, we just got to get through it. I don't like that. Anyway, I thought SmackDown was good tonight. They hit a couple of home runs tonight. Wasn't a Freddie Freeman grand slam in the fucking extra innings of World Series Game 1 type of SmackDown. But it was a good SmackDown because we got a lot of storyline progression moving forward, and we got new tag team champions in the Motor City Machine Guns. Thank you guys very much for all your support, man. If you guys did enjoy the video, if you guys did enjoy the live stream tonight, please make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We got 717 likes right now. I'd love to get at least 750. So if you guys are in the chat and have not hit the thumbs up, I would really, really appreciate that. So make sure you guys go and do that. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show, which is right now, obviously in a little bit. Memberships. Thank you guys for re-upping your memberships or becoming a new member right here on Off the Script. Great to see that, as always. Go check out all the content on the channel. My personal State of the Union address to Tony Khan and AEW, which was uploaded, I believe, on Monday. Go check that out. That's on the channel. It's right on the homepage. Last night's State of the Union with Andrew Baydala. Go check that out and everything else in between. Tuesday Night Titans, episode 70. AEW Dynamite on Wednesday with Jesse, which was the largest live stream on Wednesday night that we've had for a non-pay-per-view Dynamite all year. 3,300 people. Yet I'm the only one that doesn't like AEW, huh? More people are watching me cover AEW than ever before, man. We are going to make a difference. We will try our best. And if they don't listen, we'll make them listen. And we'll keep riling them up and we'll keep fucking telling them exactly what they need to be told. Nobody's going to tell us to do shit here, man. Nobody's going to force us to fucking slow it down. Thank you guys for all the support, man. Appreciate you. What do we got here? Andy Suppers with 11 months. OTS for life. JD, would you give No Tier City a spotlight main event? You mean Motor City? Would I give them a spotlight main event? This was at 7:44, Andy, so this was clearly before the show started. They got a main event. They were in the main event, and they won the tag team titles in the main event. User 279 with a 3 months OTS for life. Hashtag Go Dodgers. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Very quick reunion for the Usos, but not so fast. We still have Jay Roman to work out. And now we have to ask who will be the fourth man on Team Roman. I am going Sammy. I am going Sami Zayn. Setsuka with a $9.99. That was brilliant how Triple H booked the Motor City Machine Guns by going over, using the Bloodline angle to get them over, and much needed juice for the crowd to invest. Had they went to AEW Nothing Burger on Rampage. Where is Grizzled Young Veterans? It's a good question. It's a good question. Where are they? Did Tony forget that he hired them? Because I know they came out on, what was that, All In, and they challenged the Young Bucks, or at least stared down the Young Bucks. Maybe it was a figment of my imagination. I don't know. Timmy No Turner with a $1.99. Sounded like an AEW arena when DIY walked in, laughing my ass off. Yes, they are ice cold as a tag team. They are. El Mase with a $9.99. Tony McCann in the chat says, I have them on Collision, pal. Oh, my God. El Mase with a $9.99. JD, are you missing Beast Mortos versus Beef on Rampage? I feel sorry for anybody who had to willingly sit down and watch Beast Mortos versus Beef. You can clearly give the fans a good show, and that's what you opt to give them. Tony does not give a single shit about Rampage as the show is getting canceled at the end of the year. Goodbye. Nobody will miss it. Sue Childress with a 5. I know this show will be a banger because all week this show has been on fire. Keep up the good work, OTS for life. You are the best, JD. Thank you, Sue. Tim Green with a new membership. Tim, what the fuck are you drinking, Tim Green? Lauren with 6 in Super Chat. Anyone felt that Triple H looked like a heel tonight? No, Triple H just felt like a boss. You like Mets or Yankees more? I'm a Mets fan. I like neither. I hate them both. SmackDown has taped episode next week. Why? Because they will be flying to Saudi Arabia next week. Jason Correa with a $9.99. Hey, JD, what's up? Nice to take a pic of you and Salamonster at House of Glory. And what does you think of Frankie Kazarian's special guest referee in the title match at Bound for Glory? I don't know. I won't be watching Bound for Glory, but I'm hoping for a Joe Hendry title win. I think it's about time we crown Joe Hendry as the TNA champion. Make out TJ with a 5. All right, hear me out, JD. Cena's Mania opponent, Drew McIntyre. Really think of it. Heel Drew, babyface Cena, take my money. I like it. TJ, I like it. I like it a lot. Andre Benson with a 5. I don't know people are having a problem with the outcome of the Machine Guns winning. You could see it coming after this past Monday night on Raw. Well, they don't watch the show, Andre. People just don't watch the show. They want to bitch and complain, and they don't know what the fuck is going on. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Johnny Boy. I watched Shelley and Sabin when they were in Impact during the Sting, Kurt, AJ era, and always saw Impact as AEW to WWE. I'm happy the Machine Guns took the titles, and Jay got revenge. Motor City Machine Guns will revive the tag team division. I don't know if they'll revive the tag team division, but it's certainly better with them as champions, Johnny Boy, for sure. So, yes, I am happy for both of those guys. I don't know how anybody could be upset with them as tag team champions. I love it. King Mo Jackson with a 499. I've been watching you since 2017, and you have come a long way. I love the Goon voice and your wrestling insight. Keep up the good work. This is my favorite show on YouTube. King Mo Jackson, comment of the night. Thank you, brother. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $10 super chat. Jade and Bianca are excited for a fatal four-way tag team match. No champions are excited to defend against more than one opponent or team. Please, Triple H, give the titles to Io and Kyrie. Yes. I am hoping for a Sky Pirates or Damage Control victory at Crown Jewel. I didn't even go over that segment because, quite honestly, who the fuck cares? Who cares? Dan with a new membership. Dan, nice to have you in the venue, brother. What the fuck are you drinking tonight, man? Good to have Dan sitting VIP. Cake with a $2 super chat. Cody's actions have consequences. Seth, Randy, KO. Yes. Told you, man. Cody is the true villain here. Cody is the true villain. Abyss 86 with a 199. Will we ever get Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania? Yes. Let's plant the seeds for WrestleMania 42. Sarit Mohanty with a 19 months. Which is better? Unpredictable build to WarGames with Jacob turning on Solo and Rock's involvement, or a predictable Salmon reunion with the OG Bloodline? I like The Rock pulling the strings with the OG Bloodline. I think that is highly probable and something that I predicted back in April. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $2 super chat. Motor City versus FTR versus Young Bucks versus Usos. Who do you got as the winner? I'm going Motor City. Oh my goodness, man. This guy comes in hot. This guy comes in big. This guy is a VIP. Always love to see my guy Osakui with a $100 super chat. Oh my goodness. This guy's got a Mustang emote next to his name and everything, man. This guy fucking runs the place. Story is king, but some of the Bloodline story is clunky. Jimmy and Paul are taken out by Solo. Jay does nothing. Later, Jay dismisses Jimmy twice, but shows up the very next show to cut a promo on Solo about family, only for Jay's IC title loss to motivate the Usos reunion. Brother, you got a point. You definitely got a point. Jimmy and Paul are taken out by Solo. Jay does nothing. I can understand you being a writer and all. I can understand why that would bother you. But I think the point that a lot of people miss with Jay is that he truly wanted nothing to do with his family. Like, genuinely, he didn't want anything to do with his family because of the way the family treated him and ousted him from the family. He left. He walked away and wanted to become his own man and not need his family. That doesn't mean he didn't love his family. He just didn't want them. He wanted to do everything on his own. Leave that shit in the past. You guys got your problems. I'll keep an eye and an ear on everything from afar. He didn't care. You know, it's a similar situation to me with my mom and dad. You know, they feel like they're alive, barely, but they're hanging on by a thread. And no matter how many times me and my brothers can help them, there's just nothing that you can do. And after a while of just failed attempts of helping these people, you don't care anymore. You really don't. That's Jey Uso. So I get it. It does make sense, but I could also see why somebody would kind of call that out for sure. Then later, Jey dismisses Jimmy twice. Yes, because he felt the same way about point number one. Shows up the very next show to cut a promo on Solo about family, only for Jey's IC title loss to motivate Jey's reunion with Jimmy tonight. Yes, I do hope that they do explain that. I do hope that they do explain that and why he showed up to cut a promo in front of Solo on family when he definitely didn't want anything to do with family. He's going to have to give us more than a reason of like, well, I lost my Intercontinental Championship, Oos, and I got to get back at them, Oos. Going to be a little bit deeper than that. There's definitely got to be a deeper emotional reason why. Hopefully that is stated. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for always showing up, man. It's always a great stream when you're here. Love it. Hopefully you and the family are very well, man. Nax with a 10 and a 5. Why doesn't AEW invest in their younger talent and new signings? They could have Ricochet and Nick Wayne in a 3-month program in multiple pay-per-view matches. Instead, they give them away on Rampage. Because Tony Khan is a mark for pro wrestling, and he wants to see what he wants to see to, hear me out. Pretty Deadly rebranded as a serious vampire-like heel faction with Gangrel as their manager controlling them. The New Brood could work. No. I cannot see them. I cannot see them in that type of role. They're very good at what they do, but the act and the gimmick is just way over the top. It's not funny. It's like cringy. Ali with a $4.99. JD, how do you see Randy landing the RKO out of nowhere on Cody Rhodes? I'm not going to answer that question, Ali. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know when that will happen. I want to be surprised. I want to be shocked. I want to feel the emotion when it does happen. Poppy Sensei with a $2 super chat. I love this red mic. One day I'll have that stang. I hope you do, brother. I hope you do. And that is the last of the super chats. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate you guys very much, man. I think, depending on the news, there may be a video at some point this weekend, but I think I may be taking most of tomorrow off. I got to take kittens to go get vaccinated tomorrow. And I'm going to drive to Connecticut to see my very good friend Jim and his wife. And I'm going to have lunch with them and kind of de-stress from the week's chaos. So you might see me Sunday with a video, and then we'll start a brand new week, man. We'll end October strong. Sound good? Sound good. Appreciate you guys very much, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the members tonight. Shout out to everybody that delivered a super chat. Appreciate your support. Osekwe, thank you, brother. Make sure you guys go and check out all the other content on the channel, man. There is more than enough to get you guys going. Everything you need is on the homepage. Go and check it out. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that thumbs up. We got 800 likes. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Go Dodgers. And go check out DraftKings, man. DraftKings, the exclusive sponsor tonight of Off the Scripts. Download the DraftKings app. Use that promo code JD from NY. And get in on all that action courtesy of Off the Scripts. Guys, thank you for all the love this week. Appreciate it. I will see you back right here, possibly on Sunday, with more news and a brand new week live after Monday Night Raw. Right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.